Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. Today I'm making corned beef, and I'm doing it in a traditional style using a crock. Crocked corned beef is something that was used years ago around here. They would brine the beef or venison, whatever they would use, and then that would be put in either a cold room or a cellar or smokehouse or cold outbuilding while it cured. And I've got two pieces of brisket here. I got about 10 pounds of brisket. I got a point and I got a flat portion of the brisket. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take these two pieces of meat and I'm going to place them down in the crock. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brine and I'm going to cover this meat up. And this brine right here is 2 gallons of water that I brought up to a boil. I got 2.5 cups of kosher salt in this. I've got 10 teaspoons of pink curing salt. I got a cup of brown sugar, and I got a 1/2 cup of homemade pickling spice in this. I've just brought that up to a good rolling boil, and then I let that cool. Now I'm going to put enough brine in this crock to cover this meat completely. Spices and all are going to go into this, and then that's going to add the flavor into the corned beef. And the curing salt, or the pink salt that is in this, is what's going to give this corned beef its reddish color when it's done. And this, if you're doing this on a smaller scale, you can keep the meat and the brine in your refrigerator. If you're doing it just like in a small plastic Tupperware style container. If you're doing something larger like this, you have to keep it cold by putting it in a cellar or a cold outbuilding. This was a really popular form of preserving meat after it started to get cold around here. A lot of the old farms would have a crock of this corned beef somewhere in their stores for the winter. Starting to get down to the bottom here. You can see all my spices down in the bottom of this. I'm starting to bring them all up. This was a 3-gallon churn crock when I started with this. If it's a smaller piece of meat, you could use a 1-gallon crock if you want to do it in a traditional style. And the rest of it can go in just like this right here. Now I'm going to put a small plate on the top of this, and we're going to put this in cold storage. Hey everybody, it's been about 2 weeks since I brined this corned beef. I'm going to take a piece out now today, and we're going to simmer it and cook it so we can have some corned beef sandwiches or whatever. Just covered the top of the crock with a plate to keep anything out of it. And you can see there, it's basically doesn't look like much of anything. The meat floated for the first few hours after I did it. I kind of had to jam it down with a wooden spoon to keep it submerged, because you have to keep this meat submerged for this to work. Anyway, I'm going to pull a piece out of this now, kind of show you what it looks like. Then we're going to throw a chunk in a pot on the stove, and we're going to simmer it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's done. Here is the flat section that I retrieved from the crock. The point section is still out there. You can see some of the spices are still hanging on to the meat. I'm going to rinse this guy real good now. I'm going to throw this in a pot. Cover it with water, cut up an onion, throw that in too, and then we're just going to simmer this until it's done. I'm going to do this inside on the stove today, but this could certainly be done in a Dutch oven outside over the fire pit as well. Alright, I got this piece of corned beef rinsed off really well. Got it covered with water, cut up an onion. I'm going to also add a good, I'd say, tablespoon of my homemade pickling spice back into it for some extra flavor. Now I'm just going to bring this up to a simmer, and we're going to simmer this until it's tender. If I need to add a little bit more water, I'll add a little bit more water into it, but that's all there's to cooking these corned beef. Check the corned beef here. You can see it's simmering nicely. You can simmer this on the stove, but you can also put this in the oven if you don't want to watch it all day on the stove. Cook quite a bit of the liquid out, so I'm going to add some more liquid in and continue to cook this guy until it's nice and tender so we can slice it. And here is the finished corned beef. Sliced a couple of slices off there to show you a little bit what it looks like. Still got the steam coming out of it. This has been simmering about 4.5 hours or so, so it's plenty tender enough to slice. You could certainly let it cook a little longer if you want it to fall apart, like if you're having a boiled dinner or something like that. But hope you guys enjoyed this old school look here at making crock corned beef the old way. Just wanted to show you guys this from start to finish. This is Modern Refugee. I appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys are getting a little information, a little entertainment out of my videos, and you guys have a great day.